Hey everyone, today I'm taking a look at the SoundPEATS Cove Pro full-size budget headphones. SoundPEATS sent me this pair, but all opinions are my own. And spoiler alert, they turned out much more interesting than I expected. So let's get started. As always, let's start with the packaging. There is nothing unusual here: the logo, the model name, picture of the product and some information about the supported codecs. On the back you'll find the technical specifications in smaller print. Inside the box you get the headphones themselves, a USB Type-C charging cable and the already familiar branded stickers plus documentation. My first impression of the SoundPEATS Cove Pro was definitely positive. The headphones look modern and stylish, although I do have a small complaint about the plastic. I would have liked to see a slightly more premium material. That said, I wouldn't call this a serious drawback. At this price point, it's pretty much what you expect, and overall the construction still feels solid enough. The headphones weigh 250 grams. There is a metal plate inside the headband which adds some extra rigidity, while the inner part is covered with faux leather. But there's one small detail in the headband design that I really want to point out. The slider used to adjust the size has a little scale on it. It might seem like a tiny detail, but personally I find it really useful. I sometimes forget what size I had the slider set to, especially after folding the headphones. Thanks to the scale I can simply remember my settings and immediately adjust the headphones to the right size. It's a very small and rather easy to miss detail that doesn't dramatically change the user experience, but these are exactly the kinds of little things that make a product feel well thought out. Moving on the Earcups, there is nothing particularly unusual here, and you have the SoundPEATS logo on both sides. One small thing worth mentioning is that the surface does pick up fingerprints. Even on the black version you can still see fingerprints and small greasy marks. So, if you tend to have sweaty hands, you'll have to wipe the headphones down from time to time to keep them looking clean. Still, I'd consider this more of a minor annoyance than a serious drawback. Besides the overall design, the Earcups also house all the main controls, so there are buttons for tuning the headphones on and off, adjusting the volume, skipping tracks, activating the voice assistant and switching between noise cancellation modes. It's basically the standard set of controls and you get used to it pretty quickly. The buttons themselves have a good amount of travel and a nice clear click, so using them feels comfortable. And finally, on the right earcup you'll find the USB-C port for charging, along with a small LED indicator that shows the power status, charging status and Bluetooth pairing mode. By the way, USB-C isn't only used for charging here. The headphones also support wired audio through a USB-C to USB-C or USB-C Type-A to USB-C cable. That's quite convenient if you want to use the headphones without Bluetooth. And now we get to the part we're really here for. The SoundPEATS Cove Pro feature 40mm driver, support Bluetooth 6.0 and LDAC, AAC and CBC codecs, as well as high-res audio certification. Overall, I didn't notice any connection issues during testing, and if you're gaming, things are good here as well. In gaming mode, the latency is very low. I usually pay attention to this, and Cove Pro performed well in this area. Now let's talk about the actual sound. I took my measurement using a microphone, so this isn't a professional laboratory measurement, it's more of a reference that gives us a general idea of the headphone's sound signature. Based on my measurements, the SoundPEATS Cove Pro have a fairly interesting frequency response. There is no huge emphasis solely on the bass, the lower frequencies are noticeably boosted, while the vocal range is also fairly well represented. The upper frequencies are quite energetic as well. So overall, the Cove Pro sound more bright and detailed rather than simply warm and bass heavy. Personally, I would have liked a little more bass, but let's be objective here. Everything I've said so far is coming from me as a music enthusiast. In my opinion, if you really care about music, an equalizer is useful with pretty much any pair of headphones, because everyone has their own preferences when it comes to sound. And if you don't want to get too deep into fine-tuning, the Cove Pro sound generally good across a wide range of music genres. I should also mention the microphone. I'll leave a couple of recordings made in different conditions so you can judge the voice quality for yourself. This is the microphone test of the SoundPEATS Cove Pro. I'm speaking at normal volume in a quiet environment. Now I'm testing the SoundPEATS Cove Pro microphone with the fan running in the background. Let's see how well it can reduce the constant background noise while keeping my voice clear. And how well the microphone actually performs, I'll leave that up to you to decide. As for noise cancellation, the Cove Pro uses 56 dB Hybrid Adaptive ANC, and in practice it really does work well. The noise cancellation noticeably reduces background noise, especially constant low frequency sounds, making it much easier to focus on your music. You know, I think Odysseus could have really used this feature back in the day, at least he wouldn't have had to listen to the Sirens. As with my previous review, I used the PeatsAudio app. The functionality here is pretty much the same, with one exception. You can't remap the buttons. However, you do get an equalizer, the ability to customize the sound, and the option to switch between different noise cancellation modes. Overall, you have everything you need to adjust the headphones to your liking. Now let's talk about battery life. The manufacturer claims up to 95 hours of playback, but there is an important detail here. That figure is achieved with the ANC turned off and the volume set to around 50%. Personally, I don't consider this a serious limitation. I mean, most people probably aren't going to listen at maximum volume all the time anyway. With noise cancellation turned on, battery life drops to around 58 hours, which is still a very impressive result. With normal use, that's easily enough for around a week or even longer without having to constantly think about charging. A full charge takes around 2 hours, but if the headphones unexpectedly run out of battery, there is also fast charging. Just 10 minutes of charging gives you up to 11 hours of playback, so even if you forget to charge them in advance, you won't have to wait long. So what can I say about the SoundPEATS Cove Pro overall? In my opinion, they are genuinely good full-size headphones for their price range. You get good sound, LDAC support, very decent 56 dB Hybrid Adaptive ANC, excellent battery life of up to 95 hours and fairly useful app with an equalizer. I also really liked little details such as the adjustment scale on the headband and the ability to use a wired USB-C connection. As for the downsides, I'd mention the somewhat less premium feel of the plastic, the fingerprint on the surface of the Earcups, and the fact that you can remove the buttons through the app. And personally, I would have liked a little more bass, but that's a matter of taste, and it's something you can easily adjust with the equalizer. Overall, the SoundPEATS Cove Pro left me with a positive impression. For the price, they offer a good set of features and work well for music, movies, gaming and everyday use. And as for Odysseus, I would definitely recommend these headphones to him. If you are interested in these headphones, the links and my exclusive promo code TrueWaveTech are in the description below for a nice discount. Well, that's it for this review. Thank you and thanks everyone for watching. If you found this review helpful, I'd really appreciate your support with a like and a subscription to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.